मदनी मुज़ाकरा है शरीयत का खजीना, अखलाक का तहजीब का तरीक़त का खजीना। मदनी मुज़ाकरा है, मदनी मुज़ाकरा, मदनी मुज़ाकरा है, मदनी मुज़ाकरा, मदनी मुज़ाकरा।
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन वस्सलातु वस्सलामु अला सय्यिदिल मुरसलीन अम्मा बअदु फ़अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम अस्सलातु वस्सलामु अलैका या रसूलल्लाह व अला आलिका व अस्हाबिका या हबीबल्लाह। अस्सलातु वस्सलामु अलैका या नबियल्लाह व अला आलिका व अस्हाबिका या नूर अल्लाह। Saying of Holy Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam: the one who recited Durood Sharif upon me once, Allah Azza wa Jal showers 10 mercies upon him, erases 10 of his sins, and raises his 10 ranks. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad. Alhamdulillah, today is the first fast of Ramadan al-Mubarak 1437 Hijri. Innumerable mu'takifeen have gathered in the global Madani Markaz Faizan Medina. Madani Muzakra is being conducted. Please ask questions. It's not necessary I am able to reply every question, and that too accurately. If possible, I'll try to answer it. If I'm mistaken, rectify me straight away. You won't find me sticking to my opinion unnecessarily and beating around the bush. Instead, you'll find me grateful, rectifying myself, Insha'Allah Azza wa Jal. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad.
It is said that animals, birds, etc. do not hoard up for the next day, whereas we hoard up in fridges and buy more on a holiday so that we don't have to buy it again the next day. So, are animals right or we are?
MashaAllah. Animals as well not hoarding up for the next day. They don't even hoard up for later in the day. On the other hand, we hoard up in fridges, thinking that we will eat tomorrow on the day off. This was a Madani Munna or Madani Munni. So it's not every animal that hoards up. An ant hoards up. Ant and mouse, they take things snatching them away and hoard them up. However, in general, it will be said that the animals do not save anything for the next day. Moreover, it's also in a hadith that a bird leaves hungry, it flies, and Allah Almighty gives the bird sustenance. But it is human whose greed never comes to an end. No matter how much he hoards up. A blessed hadith states that if a man found 2 valleys of gold, he'd still desire that he gets a third one. Meaning only soil of grave will fill a man's stomach. So in fact, human being is found to be very greedy. Anyhow, there are exceptions among them. Blessed Anbiya alayhimus salam are exempted from it. Na'udhu billah, no one will call them greedy. Can't say it. He'll become disbeliever if he disrespects them. Similarly, righteous saints are also free from greed. Blessed companions are free from greed. They were not greedy like us. Righteous saints are not greedy like us. The way we never get satisfied and content, after opening one branch, we open a second one, and then a third branch. Our business is spread from one city to another and in other countries. But if the business suffers ever so slightly, then We become restless. We look for wazifas for blessings in business. Business has stopped. Money got stuck somewhere. This has happened. That has happened. This is a normal practice in our society, of our people. They don't get satisfied. So Madani Munne and Madani Munia shall also refrain from greed. And us elders shall refrain even more. May Allah Almighty bless us the treasure of contentment. May we become grateful and patient upon whatever we have, and we don't greed for more. Hazrat Sayyiduna Abu Darda radiyallahu ta'ala anhu was a busy trader. When the passion of worship and devotion developed further in the heart of Abu Darda radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, then both of these activities became difficult to practice together. Now, without any hesitation and second thought, he left the business, meaning he quit the business. After leaving his business, he engaged himself in worship and acquiring the knowledge of deen. Therefore, once Hazrat Abu Darda radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he was a companion, okay, stated that when mercy of mankind, most generous and kind, peace of our minds, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam declared prophethood, I used to trade at that time. Initially, I tried to keep up with my business as well as keep up with my worships, but it could not happen. At last, I abandoned trade and I engaged myself in worship. I take oath by the one in whose power Abu Darda's life is. If my shop is at the doorstep of masjid, and from it I earn 40 dinars daily. Dinar meaning a gold coin. Yes, a gold coin. After earning 40 dinars daily, I do sadaqah in Allah's way. And it doesn't hinder in my salah either. Even then, I would still not prefer to trade. Upon this, someone humbly asked, why do you dislike trade to such an extent? He replied, due to the fear of severities of accountability. Meaning, as much halal wealth is gathered, it will all be held to account on Judgment Day. Due to this fear, I don't want to acquire even halal wealth through trade. May Allah shower His mercy upon him and we be forgiven without accountability for his sake. Moreover, may our epidemic of greed also be cured. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam wa rasuluhu a'lam. Azza wa jalla wa sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Sallu ala al-habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad.
If a person owes X amount of money to someone and lender comes at the doorstep, then the borrower sends his child to the door only out of compulsion, saying that tell him dad is not home. Would this be a lie?
Ask this to yourself, whether it's a lie or not. It's indeed a lie. It's a common practice that when a phone rings, then they will say to tell him that I'm not home. Owner will say to employee to tell him that owner is busy. He's not actually busy. He is sitting free. He's gossiping around. Owner is in the meeting. He's in the meeting. Owner is in the meeting. He's not in. So all these statements are lies, and lying is haram and an act that leads to the hellfire. Sallu ala al-habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad.
How to spend time in masjid while keeping in mind the etiquettes of masjid.
Masjid meaning a place to prostrate, place to worship, place to offer salah, place to recite Qur'an. So the main purpose of building a masjid is to perform worship. Masjid cannot be made into a residence. Masjid cannot be made into a storeroom that you keep your stuff in there or reside inside the masjid. You go to work and then come and sleep there, stay there. Masjid is not for these types of things. Masjid is only and solely made for the purpose of worship. You see, the reverence of masjid is more than other places, dwellings, areas or homes. Ordinary house is not respected anyways. Masjid has reverence to the extent that whoever sits in the masjid to hold worldly conversation will also face various problems, as this worldly conversation will eat up the good and righteous deeds the way fire eats up the wood. The way animals eat grass, in the same way this conversation eats up the good deeds. Like animals, cows and goats end up eating grass. These are summaries of a hadith. In one hadith it's even stated that close to the Judgment Day worldly talks will take place in masjid. Do not sit close to them, as they have nothing to do with Allah. Those sitting i'tikaf needed Allah, that's why they have come here. As we want forgiveness, this is what we need Him for, and this is something that only Allah can do. Now the one who has come entirely with the purpose to get something from Allah Azza wa Jal, like I want forgiveness, I want to go to paradise. Now in this case, if he engages in the worldly conversations here, converses about worldly things, in hadith these people have been referred to those who have absolutely nothing to do with Allah Azza wa Jal. So you tell me what will happen. Therefore we have to apply full qufl Medina inside the masjid. Firm qufl Medina. Where else will we apply if not here? So today is the first fast of Ramazan Sharif. It would be wonderful if someone makes the intention of celebrating the month of Qufl Medina. Normally it is a practice in dawat-e-islami to celebrate it every first Monday. Take it this way, that Majlis Madani In'amat makes most of the efforts for celebrating it. That first Monday of every month is Yawm-e Qufl Medina. But in Ramadan we persuade whole month to be the month of Qufl Medina, the entire month Qufl Medina. Where else to apply if not masjid? If you wanted to be chatterbox even in the masjid, then you shouldn't have come. Honestly, I mean, we come to earn rewards but return back with piles of sins. As the amount of reward of good deeds increases in Ramazan Sharif, same is the case with sins. Intensity of sins also increases in Ramazan Sharif. Then inside the masjid, obviously it will be more severe, as worldly talks are permissible outside the masjid but prohibited inside. One can laugh outside the masjid, but the one laughing inside will have darkness in his grave. Moreover, laughing refers to the fact that one can hear his own laughing voice. This is laughing. And if only lips moved, teeth shone, without any noise, then this is smiling. It is permissible inside a masjid. Smiling is permissible. Laughing is not permissible. And laughing aloud, those laughing loudly, this is even more severe. Laughing aloud is not proven from Holy Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam. Those who are firmly associated with dawat-e-islami, not those who only wear imama. Imama is sold on shops. Those practicing Islamic brothers who truly are associated with dawat-e-islami, you will not see them laughing aloud like ha ha ha, even around or outside the masjid. They try to refrain. However, they are also humans. Sometimes it does happen. However, those who have the mindset of acting upon Madani In'amat, they refrain from it. However, bear in mind that he who laughs outside the masjid is not a sinner. If you happen to see someone, for sake of argument, like current imam laughing loud, then it doesn't mean that you stop offering salah behind him. Thinking that salah will be invalid behind him or an element of disliking is involved now, it's makruh tahrimi now. There's nothing like that. Instead should keep positive opinion for him. It's not a sin, but it's not a sunnah either to laugh loud. And Dawat-e-Islami spreads sunnahs. So all those in Dawat-e-Islami and all viewers, in fact all the Muslims, should try to act upon the sunnahs of the beloved Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam. So we should also refrain from laughing loud. This habit doesn't get removed easily. One has to make firm mindset for it. It's possible that this habit gets removed after making efforts for a long time. For some, it might get removed within few days, for some few months. For some, it may take years. Now they will keep trying and would have the mindset that I am trying to adopt and act upon this very sunnah, then if Allah wills, you will also get rewarded even for your efforts too. So anyhow, we are not to laugh in the masjid at all. We are to offer salah in masjid. If the mu'takif is performing itikaf in the Madani environment of Dawat-e-Islami, then he should also attend all the study circles that take place in the i'tikaf. Circles that are for learning and teaching. One which is for the teaching of Quran, Madrasatul Madina Balighan, is also held during i'tikaf. Study in it, teach, spend time this way, recite Quran. All the mu'takifs who know how to recite the Holy Quran should intend to complete the recitation of the Holy Quran at least once during the entire i'tikaf in the whole month of Ramadan, and keep striving for the fact that I will complete the entire Quran at least once before I leave, because Quran was revealed in this month. So recitation of Quran is anyways performed in this month. People perform recitation in abundance. You would have observed that even in Taraweeh, the entire Quran is completed. Holier, the passion of recitation of Holy Quran is not as much as we see during Ramazanul Mubarak. And we shall also try to increase the recitation of Quran. However, for example, the Madani Muzakra is being conducted, Madani Halkas are taking place, Salatul Tasbih is being offered. Try to join them too. Moreover, you do get free time for recitation of Quran too. Recite Quran in those times. Now there was also a big break between Zuhur and Asr. Although there would have been a circle too, circle of revision, etc. But still there would have been enough time for recitation. And then there's a big gap after Fajr Salah. So you have to rest in it as well as take some time out for the recitation of Holy Quran for yourself. As for example, out of 24 hours, meaning within the entire day, fix any 1 hour for it. Leave 23 hours aside and allocate 1 hour for it. That I will not do anything else in that hour. Will only recite Holy Quran in it. You may say that I stutter while speaking. So the one who stutters, he gets double the reward. Furthermore, if reciter of the Holy Quran doesn't even get time and chance to supplicate, no problem. Due to the recitation of Holy Quran, all his supplications will insha'Allah also be answered, will be fulfilled. Recitation is a very sacred worship, and this is the month of recitation. So in this sacred month, the one who knows how to recite Holy Quran properly shall recite it. The one who can't recite, Madrasatul Madina Balighan is established over here. They should learn reciting the Holy Quran in it. So Holy Quran is taught over here, so they shall make the efforts of learning it. So learn Holy Quran. How disappointing and embarrassing fact it is that everyone knows how to count money. Everybody recognizes different currency. There would hardly be anyone who wouldn't recognize currency. I know of one person who doesn't recognize currency much. So such strange people also exist in this world. And generally, even small children are also familiar with the currency notes and money. But if recognition is lacking, it's in the recitation. The ayahs of Holy Quran are not recognized. Isn't it regrettable? We've completed and qualified in MA, BA, became doctor. Everyone recognizes us to be well educated. But if he can't recite Quran even by looking, then I say he's the leader of illiterates. If you now become furious, then join our movement for eating half roti. Inshallah, your anger will also get cured. Decide yourself that the one who can't recite Quran even by looking, is he an educated person? He gathered various degrees, not only one degree but degrees. Will these degrees benefit in the hereafter? As he is qualified doctor from America. I am talking to a Muslim, huh? A non-Muslim will gain no benefit even if he memorizes entire Quran by heart. If a Muslim is sane, is adult and cannot recite Quran even by looking, it means he doesn't know how to recite Quran even in Salah. How would Salah be correct if the meanings change altogether? Then according to me, he is not an educated person. You would also probably agree with me that it is true that a Muslim can't recite the Quran even by looking. Then what's the point of all these degrees? These degrees can go to waste. Hafiz-e-Quran is a true degree holder. A scholar is a true degree holder. Degree holder is the one who knows how to read Nazara Quran correctly. This degree will benefit in the grave, will benefit on Judgment Day. This degree will get ranks elevated in paradise. This degree will take us in the feet of Holy Prophet Sallallahu Ta'ala Alaihi Wa Alihi Wasallam. Who agrees with me? Everyone agrees, isn't it? Alhamdulillah. Otherwise I wouldn't have asked. Even those Muslims who can't read the Holy Quran will also agree with me, thinking indeed it is true that we shall know how to recite Quran. So you all should now make a firm and solid intention that we have come in the month of Ramadan, now we will return back after learning Holy Quran, inshallah. We'll return after learning Salah, inshallah. We will take full advantage of this given time. And if we apply Kufle Madina, we'll get more time as well. The time that gets wasted in conversing, that time will also be saved, inshallah.
My name is Hamza Abdul Rashid from Uganda, Kampala. My question to ameer-e-ahlesunnat is that we have problem in Uganda, ladies dressing very badly, and I want to do Kufle Madina, but I have no way to do it. I'm asking how to do it.
ameer-e-ahlesunnat दामत बरकातुन आलिया की बारगाह आलीशान में ये इस्लामी भाई युगांडा कंपाला से सवाल अर्ज़ कर रहे हैं कि हम आँखों का कुफले मदीना लगाना चाहते हैं, मगर हमारे यहाँ ख़वातीन जो हैं वो बेहयाई पर मुश्तमिल लिबास पहने हर जगह नज़र आती हैं। तो ऐसे में हम अपनी आँखों की हिफाजत किस तरह कर सकते हैं? बराए करम इसके मदनी फूल इरशाद फरमाइए। जज़ाक खैरा।
It is indeed a challenge. Now what happens in it is, which is indeed a difficult task, but persuasion for it is found in the blessed Hadith. The narration of Hazrat Uqba bin Amir radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, in which are mentioned 3 Madani pearls of salvation. It's stated in Hadith that Sayyiduna Uqba bin Amir radiyallahu ta'ala anhu requested in Holy Prophet's court that, what is salvation? Adopt silence, your home should suffice you, and adopt crying. This type of extract is found in the Hadith. So one shall not leave home without a need. It's obvious that one will leave the house to offer salah with Jamaat as its wajib. If conditions of Jamaat are met, he won't leave the house for the reason that even if it's market with unveiled women, while safeguarding the eyes as much as possible, it's obvious unintentional gazes are being casted. Now if a person walks in the market with his eyes closed, then he will bump his body into the one he was saving his gazes from. It will create more problems. So in this situation, he'll keep his eyes open and look ahead so he doesn't bump into someone. Now, unintentional casted gaze is forgiven. One should remove it immediately and should reach the masjid safeguarding and lowering his eyes. Other than that, he shall stay at home, depending if he has the means of earning his livelihood through a trade by staying at home. And he shall leave his house only if it's necessary to fulfill any worldly or religious need. However, he shall protect his eyes, he shall protect his tongue, he shall safeguard himself from bad company. Inshallah, he'll succeed in remaining safeguarded against various sins. Let's take an example that you have the choice of 2 different ways. You can go masjid from this way or you can go from that way. The second way is touch longer in distance, and the shorter route has more unveiled women on the way, and the longer route has a wider road and not as many women. In this case, choose the longer route as long as you will get the Jamaat and not miss it. Then choose this route. Similarly, in other matters too, refrain from such places where there are women. If they are, then act upon the following ayah of the Holy Quran. قُلْ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ يَغُضُّوا مِنْ أَبْصَارِهِمْ. O beloved, command the Muslim men to keep their gazes low. So the persuasion of keeping gazes lowered is not given by dawat-e-islami, but it is by the Holy Quran. So dawat-e-islami is conveying the message of Quran, conveying call to righteousness. Otherwise, it's stated in a hadith too. It's stated in Bahari Shariat volume 3 page 522 that Hazrat Sayyiduna Ubadah bin Samit radiyallahu ta'ala anhu narrates, Holy Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam stated, assure me 6 things I will be responsible for your entry into paradise. Number 1, when you speak, speak truth. And number 2, when you make promise, then fulfill it. And number 3, when you are interested with something, pay its right. And number 4, safeguard your private parts. And number 5, keep your gazes lowered down. And number 6, stop your hands. Meaning, do not harm anyone with hands. So the teachings of keeping gazes lowered is not invented by dawat-e-islami itself. As in they say to apply kufle Madina of eyes. It's not as such. Dawat-e-islami is actually spreading the teachings of Quran and Hadith. And as I said kufle Madina, it is indeed our terminology, but teachings of remaining silent are found in a Hadith. It says in Hadith, Man samata najah, the one who remained silent attained salvation. It's stated in another Hadith, to remain steadfast on silence is better than 60 years worship. So there are various ahadith that consist of teachings of remaining silent. We get the teachings of remaining silent from the actions of the blessed companions, from their sayings, from the sayings of righteous predecessors and their parables, from their narrations. No book of tasawwuf will be void of the teachings of remaining silent. Silence is an integral part of tasawwuf. Hunger is integral part. So these are the ways that lead us to the betterments of the hereafter. There are so many present here. None among them is saying that right now we will also be determined to apply the kufle Madina of tongue and eyes. Why shall one from Uganda leave everyone behind? No one speaking. What to do? Oh, they are raising hands. MashaAllah. Only if you have true intention, not with fake intention. True intentions only, huh? At least show those who are raising hands. Great. Marhaba.
कुफले मदीना लगा रहेगा, कुफले मदीना लगा रहेगा, कुफले मदीना अक्सर नजरें हया से नजरें इंशाअल्लाह सल्लु अलल हबीब सल्लल्लाहु तआला अलैहि मुहम्मद.
Anyhow, let me tell you, if someone is looking here and there, is looking atop, then he's not a sinful, huh? However, if he's looking at a na-mahram, at a woman, a stranger woman, then it's a separate issue. If he's looking at a young boy lustfully, then he's a sinner. It's a separate issue. But if he's just passing by and looking here and there, which is referred to as anxious-sightedness, is not good practice. It will be brought to account on Judgment Day. But he will not be called a sinner. That you say, our masjid imam looks here and there. We will not offer our salah behind this imam. So do not create hurdles for dawat islami. As what do they make a person into? They don't let look around. So unnecessary gazing, looking here and there, is although not good, but is not a sin either. And unlawful gazing is a sin. It is necessary to refrain from this sin anyways. It's compulsory, it's wajib, and protection from useless gazing is beneficial. It's a virtuous act. We shall refrain from it for the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal. It will be rewarding. Kufle Madina of eyes actually means that saving ourselves from haram is absolutely mandatory. There's no question or choice whatsoever other than adhering to this very kufle Madina. And our kufle Madina is that one doesn't look here and there unnecessarily. Keeping gazes lowered is also a kufle Madina. Wallahu ta'ala a'lamu wa rasuluhu a'lam. Azza wa jalla wa sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Sallu ala al-habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad.
My question in the court of ameer-e-ahlesunnat is that, does the liveliness of Ramadan only lie in cooking delicious foods?
Liveliness at the fruit stalls is considered to be the liveliness of Ramadan, and liveliness of various dishes being cooked at homes. Upon this, I recall a saying of Imam Zainul Abidin radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. It's his saying anyhow, a fast observing person's wait for food, he considers this act among the acts of hypocrisy. For those staying awake at night to worship, their wait for the time to go sleep is also considered to be hypocrisy by him, what I have read and what I recall.
The saying of Imam Zainul Abidin rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi that you have mentioned, as if one is considering a fast to be a burden, and he observed it because of other people. Now he is eagerly awaiting for the time of iftar to approach, or he stood up for salah, but now he considers it to be a burden and is waiting for the dawn. So it is possible that he rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi mentioned it on these grounds.
Considering it burden then has different rulings. There is a scenario of disbelief as well in it. If it is a burden on nafs, then it's not disbelief. But if he considers salah a burden, if he ma'adallah considers fast a burden, like why has Ramadan come now, we'll have to keep a fast, then this is in fact disbelief. This is indeed disrespect. Disrespect of salah. As in, why has Allah made salah fard? Now I have to offer salah. All the time offer salah, offer salah. So when insult of salah is found in this statement and truly considered salah to be such burden that why Allah made it fard for us, then he will become a disbeliever. So if it's burden on nafs like, I don't feel like it, and offers it after fighting with his nafs, then he is deserving of reward. As he's molding his nafs towards salah and fast, it's not disbelief. Moreover, some people go to the extent of even saying things like, fast should be observed only by the one who doesn't have anything to eat or drink. Allah has blessed us immensely. So such person will become disbeliever. Because obligation of fast is not based on one having nothing. Only then fast will become fard. No. Food is available, still one is to fast. This is the real test. And one who has no food will anyways remain starving. What greatness has he achieved? Greatness is that one has best of foods in front of him, but he doesn't eat them for the pleasure of Allah, saying I won't eat, I'm fasting. This is greatness, with the mercy of Allah. They used to be the righteous people of Allah, who would severely be against being inclined towards food. I read the following parable regarding Farooq Azam radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, that once he was presented with honey mixed water. He took it and then left it, saying that I can indeed drink it, but its taste will just remain until here. It will remain up to the throat, but its account of judgment day will remain behind. So I don't drink it for the accountability of the day of judgment. Whereas on the other hand, if we don't get cold water, our mood gets upset. We can't drink plain water. We desire for cold water. Whereas one who is inclined towards the cold water, so then to drink plain water is sacrifice of nafs for him. He'll be better off. So by nature he's more inclined towards cold water. He's used to it. On the judgment day, the accountability of cold water will be severer as compared to the plain water. Ala hadal qiyas. Bigger a bounty and blessing is for a person. For example, I like biryani and you like korma roti. You don't get inclined by looking at biryani and I get upset by looking at korma roti. I want biryani. Now accountability of biryani will be severer for me, or korma roti will be severer for you. Now if we swap around, let me try to take korma roti and you start eating biryani. We both don't like our foods but eat while sacrificing our nafs. Then in accountability we both will have ease, reduction and no severity. So the fact is that more a blessing is liked by someone, stronger its account will be for him. Now we do understand everything. We read, we write, we understand everything, but our nafs be destroyed, it doesn't let us act upon it. We'll do the same. Just pile up wealth unjustly. Desire of taking wealth unjustly is with us. We are in the quest of the best, but attaining more virtuous deeds, attaining more rewards and bounties, attaining immense pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal, or attaining the immense happiness of Holy Prophet Sallallahu Ta'ala Alaihi Wa Alihi Wasallam. We don't desire and quest for these facts. We just do lip service in this regard. Oh Allah, make me good. Nafs has destroyed us. It has brought us to the brink of destruction. Not only that, but in the pits of destruction. But alas, our eyes do not open. Eyes actually open when a person dies. Apparently, the eyes shut, but in reality, the eyes open. But at that time, there is no gain for having remorse. It is very late now. Now, if a person even feels remorse after his death, there's no use. Nothing at all. May Allah free us from the trap of nafs and make us His true obedient and submissive bondsman and a true devotee of His beloved Habib. Ameen. Bijahin Nabiyyil Ameen. Sallallahu Ta'ala Alayhi Wa Alihi Wasallam.
My name is Zahir Ahmad Atari. I belong to Muzaffarabad, Kashmir. My question is that we study a book and normally don't remember the parables, and we forget the important Madani powers. Guide us with such a method that we are able to remember the important Madani powers of a book for a long time.
The following dua is written in every book and booklet of dawat islami. Read this dua before studying a religious book or an Islamic lesson. Insha'Allah Azza wa Jal, you will remember whatever you study. Allahumma aftah alayna hikmataka wanshur alayna rahmatak ya dhal jalali wal ikram. Translation: O Allah, open the doors of knowledge and wisdom upon us, and shower your mercy upon us, O the one with majesty and grandeur. Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad.
This is Nisar from Balagot. Do rains and hailstones bring harm in any way? Can we call them to be bad or not?
When it rains heavily, does it not result in floods at times? Don't houses collapse and fall down? Don't cattle and livestock drown? Don't people drown in it? When hailstones heavily fall on the head, then does it hurt or not? Everyone knows about it well. Rain is a mercy of Allah. Holy Quran refers to it as ma'an mubarakan. It is a blessed water. It showers from the sky. It showers from the clouds. So it is sacred water, and this water is from Allah Almighty. Now whether it's a rainy weather or hot or cold weather, all these weathers are directly linked to Allah Jalla Jalaluh, as He creates the means for all these weathers and systemizes them accordingly. Is it clear? So when we say, "Oh Allah, make it rain. Oh Allah, it's gone very hot. Please shower your mercy. Oh Allah, flood has emerged. No person can stop a flood." As a matter of fact, now to call these things to be bad, as not in literal sense, have a look. What has Allah done? He has sent so much rain. So this is complaining against Allah Almighty. And if one na'udhu billah objects Allah Almighty, then he'll become a disbeliever. But here there's no objection involved, neither does one intend for it. They just utter these words unnecessarily. Like, "Oh man, it's too hot. May the summer go away and be ruined and be cursed." And cold this and that to rain. Some people perhaps would also ma'adallah swear. So the more bad things we say about it, worse the consequences will be. So in essence, neither can we say bad things to a disease, nor can we say it to the weather. Is it clear? So all these matters and affairs are from Allah Almighty. For some it is a test and trial, and for some it is an expiation from sins, and for some it is a punishment. It is different for everyone as per their state. So everyone shall try to observe patience. Wallahu ta'ala a'lamu wa rasuluhu a'lam. Azza wa jalla wa sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Sallu ala al-Habib. Sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
This is Muhammad Yamin Attari from Madinatul Awliya, Multan Sharif. My question is that who is more superior, mother or father?
Based on looking after and serving them, mother has more rights, and based on reverence, father holds more rights. However, both of them hold immense rights. If mother holds more rights in serving and being looked after, it doesn't mean that one shall ignore the father completely. It means it is more. And father having more rights in relation to reverence doesn't mean that mother is to be disrespected. Mother also needs to be respected. So this is the division in this matter. Wallahu ta'ala a'lamu wa rasuluhu a'lam. Azza wa jalla wa sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Sallu ala al-Habib. Sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad.
I am contractor of laborers. We've heard that a laborer shall be paid his wages before his sweat dries down. But this is hardly practiced in our society. What do you say in this regard?
You have heard right. It's stated in a blessed hadith that pay a laborer's wages before his sweat dries down. Now you can explain this hadith. Those on daily wages are dealt separately, some on the weekly basis. This is a norm of laboring and how it's distributed. Contracts are also formed, and monthly based agreements too.
This is actually a metaphorical way of speaking. It doesn't mean that he is not sweating as he is sitting in an air-conditioned
So if it's heavy snowfall, it's hailstoning or raining heavily, now how would one sweat?
The ruling implies that it shall be paid straight away. Don't evade paying it. As soon as he becomes deserving of his wages, pay him his wages.
Do not evade it without a reason. They distress laborers. They push them around. They'll pay half and keep half with them so that he keeps working and doesn't run away. Do not use these kind of tactics and pay the laborer his due full wages. Don't stop his wages without a valid and justifiable reason. As soon as the first comes, place it in his hand straight away. Do not say that I will pay him tomorrow or after tomorrow. Don't give it before the due time, but once the due time falls, then give it straight away. Wallahu ta'ala a'lamu wa rasuluhu a'lam. Azza wa jalla wa sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Sallu ala al-habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad. Hazrat Sayyiduna Abdullah bin Amr bin As radiyallahu ta'ala anhuma narrates, one reciting this dua 3 times while getting up from a gathering, then his sins are forgiven. And one reciting it in a gathering of righteousness and zikr, then there will be a seal for him on goodness, meaning on righteousness. Let's recite it together. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Sallu ala al-habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad.
मदनी मुज़ाकरा है शरीयत का खजीना, अखलाक का तहजीब का तरीक़त का खजीना। मदनी मुज़ाकरा है, मदनी मुज़ाकरा, मदनी मुज़ाकरा है, मदनी मुज़ाकरा।